Hello, this is Alevtina Madyarova and Pride. This time I had to go to Vegas, but not the one in Nevada, but the one in Moscow. An unprecedented show is taking place here today, which is led by the CEO of one of the largest music channels, Arman Davletyarov. Arman Davletyarov. Born on August the 13th, 1970 in the village of Tamar-Utkul, Orenburg region, CEO of one of the most popular music channels and the biggest music award. In 1993, he became director of the production company Media Star, concert heading the concert department, and in 1996 he became the CEO of Media Star. In 2001, he founded his own production company, Muzykalnaya Yedinstvo. In 2003, he became an assistant to the deputy of the State Duma of the Russian Federation. He ran for the State Duma. In 2011, he was the general producer of the closing ceremony of the Asian Winter Olympic Games in Almaty. With his direct participation in such significant events as Days of Astana in Moscow, Year of Kazakhstan in Russia, the festival Golden Disc in Astana were held. In 2011, the author's book of Arman Davletyarov, The History of Moscow Genghis Khan, was published. Since 2012, he has been working as managing director of Muz TV. From 2013 to present, he has been the CEO of the Muz TV channel. Of course, no one will be surprised by the fact that it was quite difficult for Arman to choose the time of our meeting. After all, success is achieved through hard work. But every cloud has a silver lining. We managed to film the master in the midst of work, surrounded by his team, famous guests. And all the best stars will be here today. You know, Lazarev is so responsible. The center has not yet opened, our staff has not arrived yet, and he's already here. Straight from the plane, I'm impressed. He's such a good man. He loves the channel, and this is mutual. From early morning until the morning of the next day, the telethon continued on the air. A lot was going on: guests, greetings, speeches, and even cooking of a New Year's dish. Phew, it seems that we're on time. Arman, it's nice to meet you. By the way, you look great. As a leader, Arman is always in the thick of things. It can be anything. A big gala, important filming, he's always there. Youthful, fresh, fit, stylish. We are really proud of our countryman. All the celebrities that will visit us today, they won't only sing their best hits, but they will also join us in preparing the festive table. By the way, today we're cooking Russian salads. We are already having those New Year's vibes. They will paint, they will sew. In one word, they will entertain our viewers today. And of course, they will share their love with you, as they always do. Frankly, we were pleased to see that even far from the cameras, the work on the set was fun and easy. There were no quarrels, no tension, no disputes. It is clear that it depends on experience and thorough preparation, but you see, much also depends on the person who leads the process. Our acquaintance took place at the end of November. The pre-Christmas mood, the decorated Christmas trees, and the anticipation of the holiday reigned everywhere. And what a holiday without Russian salads! We started broadcast. Then we began to cut salads. The leader always has to start everything. Firstly, in order to set an example. Secondly, now is the morning. If you are just awake, you're having breakfast, you can dice the ingredients for the salad. At least you can practice. Only 3 fortnights are left before the new year. To be honest, it is very scary to stand next to the CEO, who has a knife in his hands, but we can handle it. In addition to his creative successes and achievements in show business, Arman is also famous for being the father of a large family. Often, the father of 5 children fails to make a salad to the end. Someone bites sausage, someone carrots. In a blink of an eye, you have to start making another salad. You know, you have to teach children by example. It's one thing when they eat ready-made, but today they watch how their dad cooks again. At home, of course, we make Russian salad for the holidays and, of course, for the New Year. Of course, it's impossible to make 50 kilograms of salad all by yourself to treat viewers who came to support their favorite channel. But all the same, the CEO needs to start the cooking process. As they say, if you want to do everything in the best way, do it yourself. You know, I prefer traditional Russian salad. Generally, to be honest, when we make it at home, we don't add potatoes. It is so healthy. Only carrots, green peas, egg and mayonnaise, which we make ourselves, and it turns out very tasty. Finally, a short break began, and we could have a conversation. Your life is very rich. You manage to give orders while making a salad. Non-stop work, right? I'm both singing and dancing, but could it be the other way? It's not because I don't trust other people. We have a broadcast, and you, as a TV person, should know that every nuance is very important. So you always have to keep everything under control, right? Well, not always. If you have a big team of professionals, and if each and every person is doing his work thoroughly, of course, you can rely on them. And rest a bit, huh? Well, I'd rather say you can slacken the reins, because, as I believe, the main purpose of the team leader is not to keep everything under control, but to teach people to do their work, or find people who already can do it, and so you can trust them. We'd better listen to those words. It is a good way to succeed. So the work is humming, huh? I'm not chatting now, I'm setting that challenge. Are you working on social media marketing too? You know, I try to do it myself in order to clearly understand that everything looks exactly as I planned. There were experiments when I delegated to my colleagues, but I never was satisfied with the results, so I try to do it myself. For the rest, do you often find out that if you want to do anything well, do it yourself? Well, it depends. If you work with a large team, the main goal is to unite people who you really trust. Yes, they also can fail sometimes because of lack of experience. But your task as a leader is to teach, suggest, and support. Does it take a lot of time and energy, or do you have algorithms? I work on a music channel, and our team consists of young people. The same with our audience, and probably it always gives me strength, energy, because you communicate with young people. Well, I'm myself still young, but if your audience is 18 and older, then it is clear that such events with young people, they charge you. And now I will set this challenge. Just a second. We have already been on the air for 1 hour. So our Moscow Genghis Khan was freed for a while, and we can chat not only about work. Because in addition to success in show business, Arman Davletyarov is known as the father of a large family, and this, you see, is also considerable work and experience. Our Moscow Genghis Khan is full of charm. He's always happy to talk about himself, his family, and his favorite business, whether it is a talent with which he was born or a skill developed over the years. It's up to you. My colleagues asked me to show you the whole kitchen from the inside. Because mostly people see only a beautiful picture cut out for the air. And here it is, our real life behind the scenes. Today we have already observed how you cut the salad. But for sure, for all these years of work on television, you have had to do a lot of non-standard and unusual things. Do you have any interesting memories? Funny, it turned out that one of the most remembered Arman's force majeure is connected with Kazakhstan. The presentation of the music award in Astana became the cause of general astonishment. Then suddenly a hurricane began, and the rain began to flood the stage and the audience and everything else. We were not sure if we could even begin the ceremony. It really was in jeopardy. Now we can talk about it with a smile. And after all, everyone sat on wet chairs for 6 hours. We had to change dresses, suits. I remember my wife wrote to me, "What is happening there? I cannot understand. You're changing clothes for the 3rd time." And it was because of the rain. And I remember Yosif Davidovich Kobzon tried to calm me down when I ran into the dressing room, all in a flutter, and I was worried because of our live broadcast that could stop at any time due to weather conditions. He said, "Arman, I know people who survived the war. Everyone is looking at you now. You really have to act like it is okay." I began to pray, "Oh Lord, please help me. Please help me," and I do not understand why this is all happening. Here in Kazakhstan, when I brought here thousands of the best popular artists, when the most famous people of Kazakhstan are here. I believe many people remembered that award ceremony in Astana, and perhaps it's symbolic that for Arman Davletyarov, this episode in his career became one of the most memorable. And you know, I probably was born under a lucky star, and the very fact that this ceremony took place in Kazakhstan, in my historical homeland, the realization of this gave me strength. After all, the ceremony went well. Millions of viewers who watched, they did not even notice our troubles. They were united. Both Russian and Kazakh artists, everyone at that time worked tirelessly. It is curious that being a native of the Orenburg region, Arman Davletyarov never lived in Kazakhstan, but at the same time he was born and remains a Kazakh all his life. Roots are the top priority. I am Kazakh. I am proud of it. I appreciate it. And I bring up my children in such a way that they always remember that they are responsible not only for themselves and for their family, but also for the whole of Kazakhstan. Why? Because they look like Kazakhs. They are Kazakhs by nationality. And by looking at them, people would judge who are the Kazakhs. Do they study well? Do sports? How do they behave? How do they build relationships? And what kind of people are they? In Kazakhstan, this is probably a normal situation when you have a large number of children. After all, 5 children is a lot for my colleagues, especially given the fact that I have one wife, and people often ask if all the children are from one marriage. I say yes, I was married only once. Are you proud of it? Of course I am. Probably when you live outside your historical homeland, God is trying to help you in this way, so that you are surrounded not only by the people with whom you live, but still with people of your nationality, your children. I'm kidding, of course. This is all from the Lord, and I am extremely happy. If being in Moscow you miss your home, or you wish to celebrate some of the national holidays, you should write to Arman in the social media. And in this case, you will receive at least a warm congratulatory reply. Previously, my wife and I celebrated national holidays ourselves. The end of Oraza, Nowruz, then we had one child, then a second, third. Now we always have great feasts. Table for 8 people, which is always full. 5 children, me, my wife, and some of the guests. Most often it is my mother. And I always joke. I say to children, on Monday we will visit one of you, on Tuesday another, and so on. With such a schedule, being a father of a large family, how does Arman always manage to stay in a good mood and be full of energy? How do you ease your nerves? I know they say I do not ease my nerves because I don't get nervous. Well, why don't you get nervous being the CEO of a huge TV channel? You know, maybe it comes with age. It is clear that there are situations when you give all the strength to work. Like today when you're worried, when you're nervous. But still, I try to look philosophically at all problems that we face. Why? Because, life is so short to waste your nerves on what you can decide now or leave for later. So, why create fuss? Why be nervous? For example, today we have a live broadcast. I am completely calm and I will remain calm even if something, God forbid, happens. Everything must be solved calmly. First, your colleagues are looking at you. If you are nervous, you're screaming, you're spoiling the work process, then you will not get a good result. Does it seem to me, or does such wisdom come from experience? And how was everything at the beginning of your career? Well, everything happened, panic and everything else, but probably my Eastern upbringing, which my parents gave me, a Kazakh upbringing, it gives a certain inner core. And we learn it at mother's knees. I remember the days when my parents worked. They left at 6 a.m. in the morning and returned late at night. If there were any problems, they calmly solved it, without scandals, without hysteria. Probably I'm like them, because we are positive. Even if we are not treated very well, and this sometimes happens, we take into account the fact that this is a creative person, an artist, he's emotional, he will cool down, come back and apologize. And even if we did not apologize, we don't worry. If we need him, it means we will show him on our channel. If we don't need him, then we will not show him. I don't have such fixed ideas. For example, we had a fight, now he's forbidden on our channel. No. If it is beneficial to the channel and interesting to our viewers, we will show him. That is, the interest of the channel are the top priority. Of course, it is our image. The audience sees what we're doing. Why my personal attachments should influence what will be on the air today? No. Only what is relevant and popular today will be on the air. A person who is able to achieve success as a rule never stops at what he has achieved, and it's boring to do the same thing all the time. Of course, our countryman also launches additional projects and tries strength in various fields of activity. Recently, I launched a project called Star Masterclass. This is an educational project, federal value. In general, for the first time in history in Russia, or probably in the post-Soviet space, pop stars, cinema, sportsmen have teamed up to share their experiences. How to be beautiful and healthy. How to be successful. How to build a happy relationship. And I believe that this project will be successful. Why? Because, firstly, it seems to me I have the right to create such a voluminous educational project. Because I'm a family man, I can build relationships with people, with parents, with wives, and friends. I am a successful person. Of course, this is primarily for young people who are just beginning their adult lives. Well, in general, for adults, for those who are interested in the experience of famous people.
Опыта, который звезды впервые делятся со мной. Это в формате такого интервью.
I interview them because celebrities cannot always be completely honest with journalists about what they have in mind, how they build relations, about their problems.
А здесь именно мне доверяя.
And they trust me. They talk about any difficulties, about their mistakes.
как в их семье. Ну, например, Максим Галкин.
My guest was always Maxim Galkin, Ksenia Sobchak, Lera Kudryavtseva, Yana Rudkovskaya, Alexander Reva, Grigory Leps, a lot of people. Do you come up with skeptical comments that the stars are really not so good, they often fail in family, there are many marriages and some scandals and so on? Of course we do, but in order to understand what is happening there, you must first watch and listen. For example, Anya Sedakova came to us who told us about why, in her opinion, she didn't have a good relationship, what mistakes she made. Yana Rudkovskaya, too. She talked about her relationship with Zhenya Plushenko and about her previous relationship. There are always lots of discontented people. There are many pessimists. But in order to understand what our project is about, you need at least to watch it once. You need to listen to those small lessons that we offer. I believe that people who have achieved success, popularity, fame, they have achieved all of this for a reason. Secondly, they sincerely share this information. Why do you think I take part in this project? To filter what is truth, what is not. What we can show people and what is better to cut. I think this project is very important for people, for the fans of these artists. And in general, you know, having reached a certain age, I want to share the accumulated knowledge. I want to engage in education and benefit.
Я так думаю, что юный не юный, но через несколько лет там уже будет 50 лет мне. Хочется уже, наверное, больше отдавать.
I want to share not only material, but also what we have learned.
Материальное что-то, но еще то, что ты за эти годы набрал, чему ты научился.
And not only with my children. Arman Davletyarov will turn 50 in a couple of years, but he's full of energy. He's full of plans, hopes, and constantly working on himself. For example, not so long ago, caring about his health, Arman lost weight, which had a positive effect on his appearance and well-being. Every year on my birthday or the day before, I write plans for the coming year.
Делаю для себя определенные, значит, пишу, что бы я хотел, чтобы за этот год в моей жизни предстоящем было. Как я буду выглядеть.
For example, how I will look. I mean in kilograms, in sizes, if needed. What new challenges I will appoint for myself this year in order to overcome them. Where I will fly, my new hobbies, and what kind of relationship I will have with my family, where I will take my children. You know, this helps me to stay on track. I recently heard a quote that I liked. I even posted it on my Instagram. If you are not planning your life, then you're planning a failure in your life. Therefore, I try to plan it. Maybe not in the smallest details, but in general. And when we talk about what will happen in 20 years, I would like to look the way I look today. I mean my weight, my health.
Я был, безусловно, здоров. Почему я сегодня, например, последние месяцы...
In recent months, I have been following a healthy diet.
Я исключил глютен.
I excluded gluten, lactose, all cereals, sugar.
Сахар.
People call it raw food and many blame me, like, man, you're Kazakh, how can you refuse meat? I answer them that I feel comfortable that way, but I have a Friday, the day when I can have anything I want. Beshbarmak, plov, bar socks, and all that I love. Well, and as I said, in 20 years I would like to be the same as today. You know, sometimes people say, I'm 50, but I feel like 20. When I will be 70, I'd like to feel like 50. I do not know how it will be when I'm 70, but today I'm 50, and I will not say that I feel like a 20-year-old boy. Of course, I feel like 50. And I'm a serious, grown-up person.
семьянин.
Family man, therefore I won't play games with you. But I want to seem young, at least externally. They say that only in traveling we live as we would like to live. It's not surprising that our friend likes to travel, especially with his family and children. I love Spain, I love Dubai, I really like it there, I love the USA, I basically love to travel, but due to the fact that my youngest children are still very young, of course I cannot go far.
Последние, и слава богу, годы все время появляются малыши в семье, то с маленьким, конечно, далеко не улетишь.
I do not see any reason to travel without a family because I want to have people I love next to me. And 3 years ago, our daughter was born and she's still a baby, but I always take sons with me everywhere. They were with me in Astana. We also recently visited Baku. At the Jara festival, we were in America. I want to spend more time with them, so they want to spend time with their parents, and I love to hang out with them. A loving father can talk about his children endlessly. Moreover, the younger son is still a child, and the age gap between the older and younger is quite wide. They're all different. It's good that we have little kids. We can sniff them, hug them, kiss them, and they have such round cheeks. It is just adorable. You know, every morning me, my wife, older children, we look at this baby waiting for him to open his eyes. As soon as he wakes up, the show begins. Everyone wants to play with the baby, touch and kiss. The most touching is the love with which the father speaks of the care he gives his children. Can you imagine how the head of a large telecorporation personally changes diapers or plays with small children? I do change diapers and play with children. I am already quite experienced in these matters. After all, I'm a father of 5. Of course, it gives me joy and pleasure. This is real happiness. Even, of course, children can be naughty. Sometimes they can even upset you. But this is not the main thing. Arman's childhood was nothing like what he tries to give to his offspring. He grew up in a loving family, but times were hard. I lived in a village, and we were all by ourselves. Parents were at work. I often tell my children about those times. In the morning I had breakfast and with bread and milk. I had to have breakfast alone because my mom was leaving early. Then I went to school, and when I returned, I had some house chores. I had to sweep the yard, clean up after the cattle, bring water, give them hay, remove trash, clean the house. I understood that these were my duties. I've always been lonely because when I went to school, my brother and sister had already left to study. And I grew up alone. All the neighbors had many children, and I often asked myself, why don't I have more brothers and sisters? Therefore, I have a very large family. Are you satisfied now? Yes, I am. It seems that our Genghis Khan is not only stressful, rich and famous, but also happy, and this, you see, the most important thing. Therefore, it is not surprising that both the artists and the team seem to truly love and respect Arman Davletyarov. I adore Arman. He's my old friend. He's a man with a big soul, with a good sense of humor, and a moral human being, a man of his word. Therefore, I always, with great pleasure, take part in the projects headed by Arman. It is great how well done you are. Our meeting took place on the eve of the New Year when everything was filled with the New Year's rush, both mood and speech.
Дорогие земляки,
Dear countrymen,
с Новым годом, с новым счастьем.
Happy New Year. May this new year bring you only joy. And do not forget about those people who are next to
Не
you.
забываем о тех людях, которые рядом с вами. Любим,
Love,
обнимаем,
hug, kiss,
целуем,
give gifts.
дарим подарки.
And most importantly,
Самое
be
главное,
there for each other.
С Новым годом.
Happy New Year. Now, the holidays are over, but we cherish the memories of this meeting in winter Moscow. Well, we wish success to Moscow Genghis Khan, and we are waiting for new stories and new inspirational acquaintances as the part of the Pride project. After all, the Kazakhstanis, as we have already seen more than once, are capable of becoming successful anywhere in the world, but they always remain ours. So, see you soon.